The regular notice requirement of the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act has been complied with, and that adequate advance notice of this meeting was given at least 48 hours in advance. On June 18, 2019, notice was mailed to the Carrier Post and the Philadelphia Inquirer. Notice was also posted on the bulletin board located by the reception desk at the central office and all school buildings, bulletin boards within the district. Roll call or with the Pledge of Allegiance? Yes, sir.
When I call your name, please say present. Ms. Teresa Atwood, Ms. Catherine Blackshear, Mr. Wasim Mohammed,
Present.
Mr. Nam Nelson,
Present.
Ms. Carmen Otero, Mr. Troy Steele,
Present.
Ms. Martha Wilson.
Would everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
At this time, the board will go into a committee session, and we will return in 30 minutes, which means we'll return at 6:03. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. At this time, I would like to swear in our newest appointed board member, Ms. Yolanda Whitby. Ms. Whitby, would you join me at the podium at the bottom of the stage? So please repeat after me. When I say I, insert your name. I
Yolanda Whitby,
affirm that I will
affirm that I will
support the Constitution of the United States
support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments
and to the government
established in the United States
established in the United States
and this state
and this state
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
I
I, Yolanda Whitby,
affirm that I am not disqualified
I affirm that I'm not disqualified
as a voter,
as a voter,
and I am not disqualified
and I am not disqualified
due to conviction of a crime
due to conviction of a crime
or any offense
or any offense
listed under
listed under
New Jersey S-18A
New Jersey S-18A
12-1.
12-1.
I
I, Yolanda Whitby,
affirm that I possess
affirm that I possess
the qualifications prescribed by law
the qualifications prescribed by law
for the office of the member
for the office of the member
of a Board of Education,
of the Board of Education,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties
all the duties
of that office
of this office
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
Thank you and welcome.
Thank you.
Would you please join us on the stage?
All right, again, we'd like to welcome Ms. Whitby, who was appointed by the Executive County Superintendent, to the podium and to the board, and we will ask if there are any comments from our board members in welcoming Ms. Whitby, and then we will allow Ms. Whitby to address the audience for a moment. So again, any board members who'd like to welcome Ms. Whitby, and then we will allow Ms. Whitby to address the audience. Again, our Executive County Superintendent has appointed Ms. Whitby to the vacant seat.
Before we do that, can we have a final roll call?
When I call your name, please say present. Ms. Teresa Atwood, Ms. Catherine Blackshear, Mr. Wasim Mohammed,
Present.
Mr. Nam Nelson,
Present.
Ms. Carmen Otero, Mr. Troy Steele,
Present.
Ms. Martha Wilson, and Ms. Yolanda Whitby.
Present.
Thank you.
Just like to say welcome.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Ms. Woodby, on becoming a board member, stepping up and advocating for the city. Appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
I also would like to echo that as well, and hurrah for the purple and the gold.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I just want to take a few moments to thank you for this opportunity. I'm excited, I'm dedicated, I'm committed, and I'm ready. I'm born and raised in this city, and not only am I here to do the work, I'm here to serve. And I want you to know that my actions will speak louder, and my authenticity will show you who I am. I am a person that loves this city, and I represent my family, my parents who are sitting a few steps away, if you wave your hands. They were born and raised in Camden, and my father worked at Campbell's Soup, and they both retired from Camden School District. So this community is in my blood. I live in this city, and I thank you for this opportunity, and I look forward to working with every one of you. May God bless you.
Thank you, Ms. Whitby. At this time, we'll transition down to the front rows so that we can move forward with the superintendent's report. All right, good evening, everyone. We want to thank you for joining us today for our November board meeting. Tonight's presentation will focus on each of our district priorities, and also our school highlights will be shared at the end. Before we begin, we want to take this opportunity to take some time just to reflect on the incidents that occurred Friday. I know they've been widely spread in the media, but we want to just take the opportunity to share in this setting some information. We want to discuss last Friday's incident at the Pleasantville-Camden football playoff game. As educators, as those individuals who care about our young people, regardless of what your role is, we carry constant concern for the safety and well-being of our students, both in our classrooms and when the school day ends. During last Friday's Camden-Pleasantville game, a shooting took place where several members of the Pleasantville community were injured. So we want to say a special thank you to our staff members, a special thank you to our coaches, to our security officers, to our faculty and staff who were on site and acted swiftly to ensure the safety of our students. While no Camden students or attendees were physically injured or harmed during the incident, we recognize this event was still very traumatic for our young people, our staff members, and our families. So in response to Friday's events and to best support our students and staff, we have implemented the district's trauma response plan. Over the next few weeks, our school-based youth services and trauma service teams will provide coping and psychological first aid sessions for students and staff impacted by the incident. Is Ms. Andrea Omatry present in the building tonight? She may not be. Okay. She has definitely been an individual to help to coordinate our services of support that have been rendered, so I just wanted to acknowledge her if she was here. Yesterday, our team led by Ms. Omatry and the Camden County Traumatic Loss Coalition provided critical support to our students, staff, and their families. I was on site. They were able to also bring dogs, comfort dogs for our young people. They had breakout sessions provided. Parents were able to meet in a breakout session with myself and other individuals because we know this is a healing process, but we wanted to make sure that we allotted time and the appropriate space with the appropriate staff members who were able to support our students in dealing with this tragedy as well as their families. So at this point, we want to call up Senior Director Terry Allen for a special recognition award. And kudos to Ms. Allen and her team again for doing a wonderful job in shepherding our young people to safety. Ms. Allen?
Good evening. So if I can have the officers that were there, Officer Lamar Wesley, Officer Stephen Wesley, Officer Willie Womack, and Officer Rasheen Hanlon. So first, the Camden City School District extends their sincere gratitude and appreciation for your exhibition of bravery, compassion, and dedication for ensuring the safety and well-being of Camden City High School students and staff and spectators during the November 15th Friday night football game. And not only, these guys work hard every day. I just want to say that. Every day can be challenging, but I know with my team, they can get the job done. And I'm extremely proud of each and every one of you. Thank you.
Outstanding, and we never want to take for granted the tremendous work that our safety and security officers do each and every day, and what they did was nothing short of amazing. I had the opportunity to talk to the Pleasantville superintendent as well as other individuals from the Pleasantville community who also shared how impressed they were with how quickly our students were evacuated, our staff members and family were just escorted to safety, and we know that it could have been much worse had they not been on their posts. So again, we do honor them on this evening and say thank you. And so we also want to make sure that we appreciate the many community members and organizations that reached out and offered support to our staff and students. On Saturday, the Commissioner of Education, Dr. Lamont Repole, Chief Wasaki, our Camden Police Chief, Senior Director Terry Allen, myself and other district staff members ensured the safety of our Woodrow Wilson High School students and fans who are also in the playoffs and doing very well. And we just wanted to make sure that on the day after such a traumatic experience, that our students, that our athletes, that our fans, our community members felt safe. And there was definitely a rallying of support to ensure that everyone felt safe. And so the community support continued, and it will continue as we complete our season, as several community members joined students at support groups that we talked about Monday. As we move forward to educate and uplift our students, I look forward to working with each of you to find new ways to help students and staff remain hopeful and uplifted in the face of tragedy and trauma. Please join me in this effort and know that your dedication to our students and staff is definitely appreciated. Our football team will complete their playoff game against Pleasantville tomorrow at the Lincoln Financial Field. Once again, absolutely. Once again, we have been blessed with so many individuals who want to show their support, not only to our Camden athletes, but our Pleasantville athletes as well. This event is a ticketed event, and limited tickets will be made available to the football team and to their families and essential staff. So we appreciate your understanding in advance. They will be able to play the 17 minutes that were on the clock when this tragic experience occurred, and we are looking forward to both teams being able to have a positive closure, and there are many more surprises to come because the love has really been poured out for our young people. So we will keep you updated and posted on how things continue. And we're also rooting for Woodrow Wilson High School, who beat Long Branch, I believe, 42-0 Saturday. So all of our teams are just phenomenal, and our young people are amazing. And so in keeping with last month's initiation, in partnership with Camden Education Association, we will recognize students each month at our board meetings. Students are nominated by their principals, educators, for displaying outstanding character traits in the following areas: persistence in academics, teamwork, behavior, helpfulness to others. And at this time, I welcome Ms. Felicia K. Turner and Dr. Keith Benson to the podium as they will announce the Students of the Month. And we are so grateful for our families for being here as well. Let's give our union representatives a round of applause. You want to put them?
I'll give you these as she calls them so you can shake their hands.
Good evening, everyone. First, I would like to say congratulations to the Students of the Month. And, excuse me, and I am a Camden City School District, and I am working as a school teacher for RT Cream for the Camden City School District. I'm just going to break a little bit. With Camden Education Association, our teachers and our staff members, they pay dues. And with these dues, they go to our union. We have the ability to apply for grants. So I am the Pride chairperson, and I am the FAST coordinator for Camden Education Association, and I have been awarded $30,000 for Pride and $30,000 for FAST. What this means, the Pride programs that we hold that are offered to the school district, that means all parents can come, all children can be a part of them, which is Read Across New Jersey. It was America, but it's New Jersey this year. We also are looking forward to having a Winter Festival celebration, more details for that to come. And for the FAST programs, we have 5 schools who have applied and are using it for their programs to teach their parents about literacy, math, reading, and to be able to help them become partners with the teachers in the classroom. So I'm really excited about that. Please look for more information, come forward, and be a part of what we're trying to do and to raise our children together. For our October Students of the Month, we're nominated for many reasons, including their strong leadership skills, positive outlook, and when facing challenges, outstanding attendance and academic achievement. This month's students were also noted by teachers and staff as having a passion for community service and for excellence in academics and personal development. Congratulations. Oh, wait a minute, I'm going too fast. Am I going too fast? Starts up. I'm going to call up the parents and the students for them to receive their awards and their accolades. Okay. Oh, you can stand over there to Miss. Alana Page. Alana is part of the SOAR program for Woodrow Wilson. All right. Yeah, so weird. The next student that we have is Anna Mosley. I'm sorry, yeah. She is from HB Wilson. Parents, please feel free to come on up.
So you can take a picture with your child.
Next, we have Tanaya Melton from Caddo School.
Congratulations.
Come on.
Go ahead. It's your time to shine. Go ahead.
Next, we have Roger Brown from Forest Hill. And we also have his teacher and principal, Rahman. Could they please come up front? Next, we have from Thomas Dudley School, Davy Constanza Medina.
He's a safety. He's a safety. Oh. It's a whole bunch of them. Tell them to all come up. It's a whole bunch of them. Come on.
And next, we have an outstanding student from, he's
Canva.
from Canva, and it's Luis Echeverra.
You got to fix that. Yes.
And he is also a student board member? Yes, yes. All right. Congratulations to our students for being outstanding role models, go-getters, and academic achievers. Thank you to our educators, district staff, families, and community for supporting our students.
Mariana Stewart from Sharp.
My apologies. Big round of applause for our last student, Harry C. Sharp Elementary School, Ariana Stewart. Okay. Special thanks to Flowers by Mendez and Jackal, a local florist, for providing the flowers for our parents. Please give another round of applause to our students of the month.
Thank you so much again. We just want to make sure that all of our parents and students know that we recognize it's a collaborative effort to make sure that we're honoring you. So we are so very proud of each and every one of you and look forward to greatness as you continue on your journey toward academic success. We're so proud of you and we thank you. At this time, we're going to move right into our updates on accelerating student achievement, which is our very first priority in our strategic plan. Math hoops is something that is very exciting in our school district at this time. During the 2019-20 school year, more than 100,000 students, 100,000 across the United States will participate in the NBA Math Hoops experience in their schools. The program engages 4th through 8th grade students in fundamental math and social emotional learning through the game of basketball. All program content is developed in alignment with state standards and 21st century learning skills and has been shown to improve students' foundational math and social emotional skills. Working with real NBA and real WNBA player stats, students and educators complete a 12-lesson curriculum while competing in NBA Math Hoops games. Through NBA Math Hoops, students are given the chance to develop an appreciation and love for this critical subject of mathematics, while also developing key interpersonal skills that will serve them throughout their lives. Community experiences that extend the learning include local educator trainings, NBA, WNBA player events, regional championship events, and the national championship. For the past 2 years, we have had students from schools such as Dudley, Vets, Forest Hill, Coopers Point, and Caddo participate in Math Hoops, mostly during their after-school programs. This year, all family and elementary schools registered to have students participate. So we have participation this year from all of our schools, and we are looking forward to being able to recognize our young people. Not only is this fun, but it's an engaging way to motivate our students to be interested in math and to develop those interpersonal skills. On our second priority, which is a great teacher in every classroom and great staff in every role, I want to provide you with the following update. We have filled 93% of all teacher roles. While this is a point of progress, the reality is that we still have vacancies that need a full-time certificated teacher. Our team continues to focus on recruiting and hiring for these areas, as well as looking for additional substitutes. If you know of any individuals who would be interested in becoming a substitute or interested in teaching, please do invite them to visit our district website for more information on how they can join the Camden City School District. We know that one vacancy is too many vacancies, and we are very keenly aware of that tie to not supporting our goal of realizing accelerating student achievement. So it is so imperative that you know that we are doing everything within our power to recruit, to find new ways of recruiting so that we're able to fill gaps. There are national teacher shortages that exist at this time. That's the larger context. It's not an excuse, but we are also working with the county superintendent's office to figure out how to create better pipelines from universities to our districts in Camden County so that we can lower the teacher shortages that we are experiencing, not only in the nation, but in this specific region of our county, so of our state. So again, I just want to make sure I underscore for you that we take this very seriously, and one classroom is too many classrooms to not have a permanent teacher in, and we are focusing diligently on new and innovative ways to solve an old problem. Want to make sure we share with you also under the same category At our recent staff convocation, we recognized staff members who are celebrating a milestone year this year in the district. Those staff members that have dedicated 20, 25, 30, and 35 plus years of service to the Camden City School District were acknowledged. Did you know that more than 30% of our employees have served the district for 20 years or more? To honor, and that's a point of celebration. That shows commitment. That shows commitment and dedication to our district and to our young people. To honor their loyalty to the district for their years of service, we have recognized all these staff on our website under News and Announcements. So if you go to our district website, click on News and Announcements, you can see those individuals highlighted as well. Thank you for all you do for our district every single year. And under the same category, when we think about having a great person in each of the roles that are very critical to ensuring that our district is functioning well, we wanted to share some additional announcements. As you may already know, last year, the city voted on a referendum to have a publicly elected school board versus a mayorally appointed board. Just last week, we had the first election where residents of Camden would vote, actually a couple weeks ago, but where residents of Camden would vote on 3 school board members. These 3 individuals were elected to our advisory board and will be sworn in at the January reorg meeting. So, Mr. Elton Custis, you can clap it. Yeah, you can clap it up. You can clap it up, absolutely. Miss Naima Gillespie. Mr. Falio Labia Martinez. Those are the individuals who were elected, and there was a great turnout at the election sites. And so you already know that Ms. Yolanda Whitby, she was not elected. She still falls under the category of being appointed by the Executive County Superintendent until we get to January, and then that practice will no longer exist either. So they will be filling the 3. Mr. Custis, Ms. Gillespie, and Mr. Martinez will be filling the seats for members whose terms are expiring. Mrs. Catherine Blackshear, our current board president, her term is expiring, but yes, let's give her a round of applause for her many years of service. Mr. Troy Still his term will be expiring. Let's give him a round of applause for his contributions on the board. And also Mr. Andrew Tolliver, who is not here, his term will be expired as well. And so separately, we had an additional vacancy open until next fall, and I shared this already, that it's been filled by appointment of the Executive County Superintendent, and we do welcome Ms. Yolanda Whitby again. And so as a district, absolutely. As a district, we envision a community where all Camden students attend high-quality schools and are prepared for college and careers. That's a part of our mission statement, our vision statement. We internalize that. Our board plays an integral role in providing guidance to the district in the areas of finance and operations, teaching, learning, student supports, and policy and governance. We look forward to working closely with the new board members in January and continuing our mission of putting students first. As a reminder, the district will hold its reorg meeting on January 3rd, 2020. January 3rd, 2020. At this time, all newly elected board members will be sworn in and officially have a seat on the board. During the January reorg meeting, the board will also have an opportunity to vote for a new president and select the committees that they will be a part of during the school year. We are excited to welcome our newly elected board members to the team. Shifting to the next priority, Safe Schools Built for 21st Century Success. We want to talk about a topic very briefly that has been in the news recently, and we wanted to share information for you on safe drinking water in our schools. As you may already know, there is a rising concern about water quality in our state and across the country. This month, I want to take a moment to share with you some information about water quality, what steps the district has taken already, and what steps we hope to take in the future. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, no amount of lead in drinking water can be considered safe. Fortunately, the Camden City School District has been ahead of the curve, having decommissioned water fountains and provided bottled water in schools for almost 2 decades. In July of 2016, the state adopted regulations regarding testing for lead in public schools. In response, the district completed testing in all of its schools by January 2017. These test results are still available for review on our district website if you care to review them. However, the time may have come for us to consider alternatives to providing bottled water. The technology behind filtered water has improved greatly in recent years. Water fountains and bottle filling stations that provide point-of-use lead-filtered water are becoming more and more prevalent. A next step for the district, however, is to investigate the feasibility of using filtered water stations as a possible replacement for bottled water. There will be more to report on this progress in future months. So I just want to let you know we're looking at it. We're not changing any practices at this time. Bottled water will still be in our buildings, but we're just trying to find economically feasible ways to deliver safe water to our students as well. So we're going to investigate those, take our time with it, and share more information as it becomes available moving forward. But at this time, all students are receiving safe water that is bottled water that we provide. Also under the same category, this school year, the Office of Safety and Security has made it a goal to break down cultural barriers and to build stronger relationships between security, staff, students, and families. For example, with the support of school support staff, the security team has introduced a new component to their training that includes teaching Spanish to non-Spanish speaking personnel. This is the first training of its kind for the department. The first series took place June 26th and was facilitated by Myra DeJesus and Mr. Larry James. Training included learning key vocabulary, phrases of greeting, and even study tips to share with students. The district security team is very excited about being able to better communicate with all students, parents, and community members. Likewise, we are excited to report back on the positive influences this initiative will surely have on school climate and culture. So again, finding ways to make those connections between our young people and those individuals who serve them by protecting them is so very critical. And finally, moving to the last section, financially responsible, fiscally sustainable financial updates. So as you know, we want to provide every student with the resources necessary to ensure that, again, from our vision statement, they are valued, challenged, and prepared for the future. Unfortunately, our current fiscal climate imposes challenges on the work that we do to support our students and the district. To this end, we have been working closely with the Department of Education and the County Superintendent's Office on our financial health. If you were to visit the central office, you will see staff from their teams present to support us on site. We are actively working with the Department of Education to critically review our funding needs and spending. We are committed to doing so until we can get our financial affairs completely in order. And so we will continue to provide updates for you as we get new information. There has been no announcement from the state yet regarding emergency aid for any school district in the state of New Jersey that applied. So we are waiting, but while we are waiting, we're working. And while we are waiting, we are collaborating so that we can put best practices in place, because we know that there are still some issues that are arising in key areas financially, and we want to make sure we are able to get ahead of those once and for all. So we thank you for your patience, we thank you for your commitment, and we want you to know that we are continuing to continuously improve our financial areas and our business services areas. And finally, our district highlights. So just a few highlights this month. NBA Math Hoops, I talked about that already, but there was a signing day at each of the schools participating. And so these pictures just highlight some of the schools that are participating. Yorkshire, Forest Hill, Sharp, and Davis. Davis School even included parents at their signing day event. So once again, this is a way to get our not only our students engaged, but our families engaged too, as we continue to push our students toward those higher math skills. Reflecting back on my October presentation, the school support and IT teams that govern technology have been collaborating since early spring on a district-wide middle school G Suite initiative. 1,600 tablets were purchased for students in grades 6 through 8. Part of the initiative calls for all middle school teachers to participate in professional development focusing on cloud computing, digital citizenship, G Suite consisting of docs, sheets, forms, slides, Google Classroom, management of devices, content-specific instruction, and so much more. Ms. Tanya Wilson, our Senior Director for Special Content Area Support, and Ms. Lynn Price-Jones, our Senior Lead Educator for K-8 Math and Science, have done a phenomenal job in facilitating PD for teachers. So not only are we putting 1,600 devices into the hands of our young people, but we're not doing that until their teachers are trained in how to create lessons that are engaging and rigorous in instruction. So they have been facilitating those PDs. Over 40 teachers, district-level administrators attended the 2019 ISTE conference to increase their knowledge base on best practices with G Suite and Google Classroom. Many of the teacher attendees have and or will be providing peer support, and this is focused again on middle school. Over 100 middle school teachers in ELA, math, science, social studies, SPED, bilingual, and special areas have already engaged in professional learning community sessions. These pictures just highlight the October monthly PLC meetings. PLCs for middle school teachers are scheduled for the rest of the year. So again, it's professional development that's interactive and that's going to help our teachers be confident as they are leading our students in 21st century learning. Next highlight, all CCSD middle school students will be assigned 2-in-1 tablets and receive a G Suite account. Currently, Davis and Coopers Point schools are piloting the one-to-one initiative and will be collaborating with the K-8 senior leads to identify any challenges before the full district rollout. These pictures highlight Davis School scholars and instructors as they are participating in critical and crucial professional development. Also in the area of science, physics of light at Woodrow Wilson High School. Edmond Optics visited Woodrow Wilson earlier this month, and Woodrow Wilson High School teacher Dr. Darrell Williams and students experienced several workstations that included lenses, lasers, prisms, and fiber optics. So again, trying to find new ways to engage our students in STEM learning. Another exciting event that occurred just today, Camden City High School students attended the annual Camden HBCU College Fair at the BB&T Pavilion hosted by the Omegas for Education and Community, where students had the opportunity to meet with admissions representatives from over 50 historically black colleges and universities. Students from Camden Big Picture, Brim, Camden High, Creative Arts, and Woodrow Wilson, Pride, and SOAR Academy, and their families were able to discuss college admissions, scholarships, financial aid, and more. And I believe there were some on-the-spot acceptances. Some of our young people got into college right on the spot. And that is awesome, awesome, awesome. And we're so excited, and we will bring you more updates as we ensure that our students have everything that they need to make it to the next level. Another district highlight, you may recognize this young man. H.B. Wilson students had the opportunity to meet Akbar G, I can't say his last name fully, from NBC American Ninja Warrior. He helped our students tap into their inner ninja and reminded them to never give up. So he combined physical activity with also motivational instruction to get our students to stay focused and to persevere. And they really, really had a wonderful time with Mr. Akbar. And last but not least, the new 2021 Camden High beam signing ceremony has occurred since the last board meeting. Myself, along with alumni, city officials, community members, and students had the opportunity to sign one of the beams going into the construction of the new Camden High. And this just marks another milestone as we are preparing for that fall 2021 opening of the brand new Camden High School. Yes, that is exciting, and that is my last update. So that's a reason to clap. And so we'll go back onto the stage, and we will acknowledge many wonderful retirees on the stage. So please join me on the stage. All right, at this time, I'll turn the meeting over to our board members to acknowledge our amazing retirees.
So I would like to take time to acknowledge those that have made a commitment to Camden City School District and are retiring. We appreciate all your years of service. So Lisa Gibson Rogers, teacher, SPED, 32 years. Stephen Fine, site manager, 19 years. Bernice Harris, teacher, SPED, 29 years. Jerry Henderson, LDTC, 26 years. Judy Camp, teacher, music, 31 years. Karen Edna Simmons, paraprofessional, 38 years. If we can give them all a round of applause. And again, we appreciate your years of service. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nelson. At this time, if there are any questions and comments about the presentation that I just shared from our advisory board members, I'd like to open up this space for you to be able to ask any of your questions or share comments.
So I would just like to say, thank you to Superintendent and her administration for your response to that tragic situation on Friday, coming together on Sunday, as well as yesterday's event at Camden High. I definitely think was good, and just seeing support staff all throughout the day, I think was much appreciated and also beneficial to the students, parents, and all those that was involved. So, I know we can't satisfy everybody all the time, but, I think it was some great things that took place yesterday that were very beneficial. So thank you to all those that participated.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson.
And would like to horsey back off of Mr. Namdi Nelson about the response of the superintendent and the school district and staff members and the fans of Camden. One quick takeaway, the quick response, because I know I was at the temple when I got the response, and several of my children were present. So I know some of the adrenaline that went through until we heard from them, but it was a timely response, professional, and we definitely appreciate that. I also want to congratulate the scholars tonight that got acknowledged here. I think that's a wonderful thing in our community. That deserves another round of applause as well. Our scholars, and also want to take an opportunity to mention another one of Camden's super athletes, the passing of the late Wayne Cat Smalls, who I had the wonderful opportunity just past September to do an interview with him for the school district, and who would have thought it would have been our last. He was an amazing athlete and during a time of Camden that many can remember, where Camden was going through some social changes, and as well as many other urban settings. But the Camden athletics, particularly Coach Clarence Turner, as he was brought in as coach a year prior to that under some insinuating circumstances because of the social issues that were going on in Camden, that Wayne Smalls and the rest of that great basketball team that included Art Still, Derrick Ramsey, Hall of Famers in the NFL, the late Doc Lee, kept Camden moving forward and kept the people excited. So I just want to acknowledge and remember Wayne Cat Smalls.
Thank you so much, Minister Wasim, for bringing that to our attention, and we will make sure that we honor his legacy. Thank you. All right, if there are no other questions or comments on the superintendent's report, at this time I'd like to turn the meeting over to our senior counsel for public comments.
Thank you. The Camden City School District welcomes the attendance and comments from all members of the public at its meetings. The public comment period is your time to be heard on the agenda items in the meeting. This is not a time to engage in a dialogue with the board, but it is your time to present your comments to the board and to the superintendent. Each person who signed up to comment will have 3 minutes. You will be notified when your 3 minutes are up. You cannot yield your time to another person. When it is your turn to speak, please remain at the podium and address all of your comments to senior counsel or the superintendent. Please be courteous to your fellow community members and keep your comments within the time frame allotted so that everyone has the opportunity to speak. At the end of the 3 minutes, the microphone will be cut off. Please conduct yourself in a respectful and courteous manner. The First Amendment is not absolute, which means that the board can prohibit language that is inappropriate. So for anyone whose comments or actions either harass, intimidate, or threaten the safety of any person, we will provide you with a warning or immediately end your comment time. In addition, if you curse, use vulgar language, or make personal attacks, we will provide you with a warning or end your comment time. We will not interrupt you during your 3 minutes of comments unless we deem it necessary. If a member of the public speaks about a staff member, interruption is necessary to caution him or her of the danger of slander. Members of the audience also should not interrupt the speaker at the podium. If you have any questions, please ask your questions during your 3-minute comment period. After the public comment period is closed, the superintendent or her designee will address your questions to the extent provided by law. So our first speaker is Brian Morton, speaker number 1, and then number 2, Arletha Turlington. Please come to the podium.
Good evening, board. My name is Brian Morton. I live at 113 State Street, Camden, New Jersey. I'm here tonight, and there's a couple different things I wanted to talk about. The first is I would love to make an offer to the board. We have a lot of parents that come out for board meetings, and as best as they try, their children are energetic. So I would love to, offer and see if you could consider if my organization could provide resources that would make, snacks available. Maybe we can hire a high school senior through, your swag program, where they can get the background check and, we can offer childcare. I would think that if we could advertise that at our school boards, there was an opportunity for kids to eat and, be watched while parents come to the meeting. It would take one of the barriers off of parents. When we talk to parents about why don't they often come out, it sort of aligns to meeting time, children, and not sure if they can bring them. There's some other things, but that's a big one, and that's one I wanted to really mention, especially as I have a commitment now to bring parents out and tell them, listen, it's like church, come as you are, type deal. So I think we have an obligation to meet them responsibly once they come. The other thing I wanted to talk about was that given the recent events at the football game, looking ahead at the Turkey game, I think it would be, a great opportunity to take advantage of the relationship between the district and Metro. and not just ask for their presence. We don't need more cop cars. They can come out and do something really cool. Like when they come to Pine Point Park, they barbecue. They give out free ice cream, free hot dogs. Integrate them into the actual event, to take away from the potential perception that, we got extra cops out here, they don't trust Camden, or they expect certain things to happen in Camden. But at the same time, we want to be mindful and be safe and make sure everyone coming out that day feels safe, and especially the kids. I want to shift to two serious questions, and I'm really excited, Ms. Whitby, with your appointment, with the recent election, as well as with the service. I see who shows up month in, month out, without excuse or hesitation, taking their commitment to their appointment and to the board seriously, and understand that that's just a reflection of your commitment as men, as women, to what you do in the community. So this is just an extension of what you're doing already out there every day on the streets. And so I want to make sure that I commend each and every one of you, as well as welcome you. I have 7 seconds left. I just want to ask, when can parents look forward to the schools or the district providing the reports around Title I and how funding is being spent, how budgets have been developed? Sorry.
Thank you. Number 2, Arletha Turlington, and then number 3 is Katrina Goldsmith.
Good evening. My name is Aretha Turlington. I'm a parent advocate specialist for Parents for Great Camden Schools. Last board meeting, I had asked about credentials for my child's teachers. I have not got any calls back or any, anything from that. So I had a meeting at my house. I had a community meeting at my house, and I had parents come out. So I had a questionnaire asking them how well do they know their child's teacher, do they interact in their child's school, and I gave them a paper to take to their school to get their child's teacher to fill out the paperwork, and I found out things that I didn't know. First, one teacher answered a question, and his GPA was lower than my daughter's. So, and then another thing, they were saying that they're in class, they went to school for English, but they're in the schools teaching other subjects. So this is like something that parents don't know, that their kids are being, in classrooms and having teachers teach things that they don't have a certificate for. So that was the reason why I said I wanted to know my daughter's credentials, because of an incident that happened with my daughter at school with a teacher. So I'm still asking for that information. Thank you.
Thank you. Number 3, Katrina Goldsmith, and then number 4, Tanisha Parker.
Hello, board members. My name is Katrina Goldsmith, a proud mother of 7 children and 5 grandbabies. My children attend Temple University, Mastery Pine Point High School, Yorkshire School, and Center for Family Services. I am here to become a great parent for Camden Schools, to utilize my skills to connect with other grandparents and parents on how to improve education in our school systems. As I stated, my children attend schools of all types, and as such, each should be a good option based on the individual needs and talents of my children. Being a mother of 7, I can see their strengths and their weaknesses. What I can also see is that they are going through the same issues that I went through in school. Math. Not being good at math was a big disadvantage for myself, and I am looking towards the district to implement more after school to help students that struggle with basic skills and tutoring opportunities to support a successful outcome through school and life. I would love to see all our schools open on weekends and evenings, offering math and reading support to children and parents. Education is the backbone of success future. However, if we keep failing our students, then we also are failing the city and denying children the opportunity for success. Thank you.
Thank you. Number 4, Tanisha Parker. And number 5, Ada Ingram.
Good evening, board members. My name is Tanisha Parker. I'm a proud parent advocate leader with Parents for Great Camden Schools. I'm a proud mother of 3 little girls. My babies are not even in elementary school yet, but I am a parent that is concerned about the curriculum. I want and need not only my children, but other children ready for kindergarten. They have to be prepared for their journey. I understand as a parent, it starts from home first. I also feel like teachers should learn how to work with children individually. All children do not learn the same. Is there a way for the teachers in early childhood to learn new methods of teaching? I honestly feel like that would be a big help. Thanks.
Thank you. Ms. Ingram, and then number 6 would be Deborah Bethia.
Hello, board members. My name is Adea Ingram. I am a proud parent working with Parents for Great Camden Schools. I have a 5-year-old daughter who attends Leap Academy Charter School for kindergarten. My issue is with the bus commission transportation. Although some schools gotten the transportation fixed, there are still some problems that need to be addressed. As a parent advocate leader, I've talked to other parents involved in this issue with pickup times, drop-off times, and knowing the right locations. What can we do as parents to help with this process, and what are the board members doing to fix this bus commission transportation? As a parent, it's hard to get my child to school at 7:45 in the morning, so I rely on the bus to take my daughter to school on time. I also rely on the bus to drop her off at her location in a timely manner after being dismissed at 3:15. It is very important that we get the situation handled so that parents can be able to feel more at ease putting their child on the bus. Thank you for listening. I hope that we can come up with a solution together.
Thank you, and I apologize for mispronouncing your name. Ms. Bethia, and then number 7, Asia Williams.
Good evening, board members. My name is Deborah Bethea. I live in the downtown area of Camden. Although I have 5 grandchildren, only one attends Bryn Medical School in Camden. As a parent advocate, I will be the grandmother of all Camden students. Grandmothers, you know, want the best for their grandbabies. I am a part of this cohort, Parent for Great Camden School, so along with my team, we can become effective parent advocates for our communities. We must insist that parents use their rights to be involved, not just engaged, in the decision concerning their children's right to attend quality schools. The need for quality schools that produce higher student achievement became clear to me when I learned from a neighbor that she would be solely responsible for teaching a class of 22 or more children. The average public school student-teacher ratio is approximately 16:1 in the 19 to 2020. Public student teaching ratio, parent-student teacher ratio statistics in New Jersey is 12:1, so the need for at least 2 teachers are needed in each classroom is paramount. If this is implemented, it would lead to better behavior and higher learning, which would produce better test scores. I am a certified teacher who is aware of what is needed to give children a successful learning experience. And isn't that what educators and parents should want for the children in our communities? To every problem, there should be a solution. If the budget is the reason why there are not 2 teachers in some classrooms, maybe you can consider asking education majors or retired teachers to give their time for a small stipend or free if they choose to volunteer time. But I feel teaching should not be a solo act. Thank you.
Thank you. Number 7, Ms. Williams, and then number 8 is Lakeisha Moloch.
Hello, good evening. My name is Asia Williams. I'm a mother of 5.
Can you speak into the mic?
Can you hear me? Sorry. My name is Asia Williams. I'm a mother of 5 students who attend Equal Charter School, Creative Arts, and Mastery High School. My older daughters attend Camden High School after we moved from North Dakota, but she complained that she finished her assignment early and became bored. because the curriculum was below her level. I'm sorry. The curriculum was below her level that she had in the other states. The guidance counselor offered her Saturday school, but that didn't work for her. So she eventually left and attended the work group and graduated. She's currently enrolled in currently enrolled in Camden County College to become an RN. But the other children I am here to speak on tonight are Nyasia and Prashan. My baby both have IEP. Previously attend Forest Hill, Hatch, Crean, and Camden High. Both are great children. They think, they dream, they wonder about their future. Each day passes, I wonder about their future more and more with worry. They now attend Mastery High School and are now in the 12th grade. However, while they are 17 and 18-year-old reading at a first and second grade level. I understand everyone says that the parents is the first teacher, but I ask what happens when the parent wasn't educated properly by the same system. I myself had an IEP learning disability. I was put in a self-contained class where the teacher didn't teach anything, gave us word puzzles and coloring sheets. I taught myself to read and paid attention when the teachers taught a lesson. Sorry, I'm nervous. I felt that they just passed me by because I have a learning disability. This is not what I wanted for my kids. As parents, we believe there should be more hands-on programs, one-on-one instructions for IEP students because everybody doesn't learn the same. Each IEP is different. There should be more ways for people to learn this with learning disabilities to reach out and get help. We believe that there needs to be more challenges for students. And the curriculum should be more progressive assignments, tests each quarter to identify strengths and weaknesses of each student. So no one is left behind. Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you so much. Number 8, Lakeisha Moloch, and then number 9, Vanessa Moore.
Good evening. My name is Lakeisha Moloch. I have 4 kids. They attend Berkeley School of Music, ECDC, Forest Hill, and Creative Arts. I want to better understand the curriculum and my rights as a parent with special needs children. I am also a product of the special education system in the city of Camden, and I can speak to how it felt me. I graduated from Woodrow Wilson in 1997 on the 4th grade math level. Upon graduation, I enrolled in Camden County College and was not ready. Frustrated with myself, I dropped out. Now today, I stand here almost 20 years later, and what was done to me is now being done to my child. My 15-year-old is reading on the 2nd grade level. She is getting ready to graduate and understands that she hasn't had a great education. The other night, she asked me, "Mom, what I'm going to do in the future?" It's amazing how something can be in front of you and you miss it. And now I understand that my role is to advocate for special education children and parents. I want to change the evaluation process and how children are being educated as a result of the IEP. I want to see a system that works with each child to develop a post-graduation plan with a care process and timelines that ultimately lays out who is accountable to our children's education. Parents depend on the Camden City School District to educate and care for our children when we are not there. As educators, you have the responsibility to do no harm and to prepare. What has happened over the past 30 years is the exact opposite, and I demand change. So that our students, no matter where they attend or what medical, emotional, or mental diagnosis they have, are receiving the support needed to move on in life, to be able to define their future as they see fit. We can't continue to overlook our special needs students, especially when over 20% of our students have IEP.
Thank you. Thank you. Ms. Vanessa Moore, and number 10 would be Dawn Turlington.
Good evening, board members. My name is Vanessa Moore, and I reside in East Camden District. I have 4 children, and my grandson attends East Camden Mastries McGraw Elementary School. My main reason for becoming a parent advocate is because I want to help the parents and children of the great city learn how to better advocate for their educational needs. As a member of Parents for Great Camden Schools, I want the voice of students and parents to have a stronger representation with the Camden City Schools. Personally, I have worked with Mastery McGraw at the book fair, and I have been a supporter during back-to-school nights as well, as a dependable chaperone on trips when needed. Throughout my partnership with Parents for Great Camden Schools, I look forward to becoming more involved with other district schools, as well as increasing my skills and as an effective communicator. One of the most important things that we as a group see affecting education today is the lack of our children being taught life skills which they will carry with them into adulthood. We strongly believe that the Camden City School should re-implement penmanship courses and simple life skills courses so that students can learn the basic skills they need to carry them into adulthood. We also believe that more nurses stationed within the schools will help to improve the overall health and wellness of our children, of our students, which is critical for increasing success across the board. In a year, we expect to see an increase in parent participation within district schools, more emphasis on ensuring that students are learning one grade level improved teacher-parent relationships, as well as more bilingual support for parents who are struggling with navigating their child's education needs. I would like to schedule a time to meet with the school board to discuss these matters in greater details so that we can collectively impact our students in the best possible way. I can be reached by phone at 856-448-2410 or by email at vanessamoore275@gmail.com. I want to say thank you to the Parents for Great Camden Schools for allowing me to be a part of this effort, and together we are becoming that voice for parents and students within the school system because everyone deserves a quality education. Thank you.
Thank you. Number 10, Dawn Turlington, and then 11 will be Carla. Number 11 is Carla Villegas. Okay.
Hello, board members. My name is Dawn Turlington. I am the mother of 3 children that attend Camden schools. Tonight, I'm here standing in the gap for all parents who are currently dealing with their child being bullied. My oldest daughter has been bullied on several different occasions at her previous and current school. The problem we face, like many other families, is that she has no one to directly report the problem to. While the state calls for an anti-bullying specialist in all buildings, and most, if not all, this is a second job for that person. We have gym teachers and guidance counselors doing multiple jobs and trying to handle the bullying crisis as well. This is unfair to the staff and unfair and unsafe for the students. The bullying and trauma it causes is too much for one person to handle, and because of it, kids are becoming isolated and depressed in the classrooms and not wanting to be around their peers. These kids need to be around their peers and restored back into the community and school on a pathway to success. Yes, these bullies need to be penalized for their actions, but neither the victim nor perpetrator should ever be given up on or left in silence to face their challenges alone. Thank you.
Thank you. So, number 11, Carla.
Vijegas.
Thank you.
Vijegas. Good evening, board members. My name is Carla Villegas. I live in East Camden. I have 2 students that attend Creative Arts Morgan Village Academy. I am a parent advocate leader with Parents for Great Camden Schools. I am a parent that's always involved in my children's schools. I attend meetings, events, and I also volunteer every Friday at my children's school. For the past month, I feel like my children's school failed me because I wanted to host a father and daughter dance at the school, and they denied me the both times I put in the permit. I spoke to the school about hosting the event at the school gym on October 14, and they said yes. So I put in a permit request for November 8th, and it got denied. The reason why they denied me was because the date I chose, which was November 8th, school was closed. So I put in another permit request for November 22nd, and it got denied a second time with no explanation on why this time it got denied. I am disappointed in the way they handled this situation. They didn't even contact me, giving me an explanation on why it got denied. I shouldn't have to do it at another school if they attend at Creative Arts. I put in a permit request for Mastery Molina Lower, and it got approved within a week. So, with that being said, I would like to thank Mastery Molina Lower for approving the event, and I would like to invite y'all to the father and daughter event at Mastery Molina. Thank you.
Thank you. Number 12.
It's also a flyer in the back, so if y'all would like to grab one and put it on, the website, thank you.
Number 12, Keith Benson, and then 13, Akira Wahid.
Good evening. Trying to be brief and mindful of the time. So first thing is that I want to say thank you to Board Member Nelson for speaking with me at the polls on Election Day. At the time, I was really going through it. To see something that you put a lot of effort into, that you feel principally will be a benefit, and to see what looks like, things sort of slip away. Sometimes I really believe that, the Lord sends people the moment you need them. And at that time, to talk with you at that time, man, it meant the world to me. And I was feeling low at that moment. And then a couple minutes went by, and then I started talking to somebody else, and then I got tapped on my back. It was my wife right there, and that's what I needed to see at that moment too. So in a lot of ways, that day really meant a lot to me. I appreciate it, and I want to publicly acknowledge that how much it meant to me. So also, as a president of the Teachers Union, and it sort of connects with the research I've done, is that it's really important for teachers unions to not just be seen as only looking out for school side issues, but actually being partners to the community in a lot of different things that are beyond school. One of those issues are like housing. We want to try and do some things related to immigration, because I know Donald Trump is really putting that immigrant community through a lot of stuff, and we want to be part of a comforting place for folks. But one thing that's on my radar, and it was briefly mentioned last month, but I feel like it bears mentioning today. Part of the reason why we push so hard for the Board of Education election is because similar to what happened we're concerned that similar to what happened with Landing Square, that the school was supposed to come back as a public school, politics was played, it was taken over and snatched because of agreement between Governor Christie and Norcross. That's factual. KIPP has been approved for 2 high schools. And this is fact. I've never come to this podium in years and never lied. KIPP has been pre-approved for 2 high schools. Where we see high schools being built, I see 1. My sense is that the reason why the opposition was pushing so hard to get folks elected to the school board is because it may come down to a vote that does the board agree to give the new Camden High over to KIPP Cooper Norcross. This is something just to put on y'all radar. You guys might want to discuss and talk about. But we know as a fact that KIPP has been approved for two high schools by former superintendent. Also, I want to thank the security officers who were here and also staff members who were there, because I got a call from my daughter who was at the Camden High game, and she says, we're coming home early because they're shooting. Now, I got that call from my child, and there was nothing but calm in her voice. And that, as a parent, reassured me that she was in good hands, because a lot of those folks that are out there, I know. And I know they're taking care of my child the way they're taking care of all the other children in the community. It really meant a lot to me, so I want to thank them publicly as well. So thank you.
Thank you. Number 13, Ms. Wahid, and then 14 is Jennifer Perez.
Good evening, board members. My name is Akira Wahid. I am a lifelong Camden resident living in North Camden neighborhood. As I stand here today, I do as a sister, daughter, niece, cousin, and aunt. I'm here to speak on communication between teachers and parents. What is a teacher? Someone that you can trust, a leader, role model, second parent. Sadly, this was not always true for me. My experience was filled with instances where, as a child, my voice was not heard, and oftentimes, perspective of adults overruled the things I needed as a child in school. Children are also in need of people that will not make everything all right, but people who will let them know that things will be all right. As a child, I grew up not trusting authority figures. I learned that my voice didn't matter. I began to not speak up for myself, also kept things inside. In school, instead of speaking up about grades being falsified, or when I saw adults marking students as present when they were absent, I stood silent. The lesson had been taught that you don't question authority, even when your heart tells you they are wrong. This is the exact opposite of what a good education does for its students. A good education teaches us to examine the world and to question what we find. A good education understands that education plays a role, but not one as important as the students they teach. For we, the students, are the future. And if you are abusive or dismissive of any of us, then you are doing the same for the future. As a community, we need to speak on and be aware of injustice surrounding our schools and make sure education of our children will not be overlooked. We also need to pay more attention to what children are saying regarding authority figures. There is an old quote, "Speak truth to power." Excuse me. Well, here in our schools, to do so will get suspended and overlooked. ESSA calls for there to be open, two-way communication between our community and the schools that serve them, as this has been proved to lead strong schools and communities. Superintendent, our school and professionals in them need to understand the importance of their task to the students and to the city. Thank you.
Thank you. 14, Jennifer Perez, and then number 15, Mahasin Parker.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jennifer Perez. Last month, sometime, I noticed on Facebook, Woodrow Wilson held a cultural event for the students. And when I was scrolling through the pictures, I witnessed students representing their own culture, dressed, had their flag. And it put a smile on my face. One, because as an advocate, I'm a huge fan of bringing cultural awareness, more so students to understand each other. And it made me happy because students got to embrace each other's culture. And I would just like to give a big shout out to Woodrow Wilson staff and students for that moment. You know, it was really, they had a very good time. And a big shout out to the officers for Friday evening for what they did to the students in protecting one, because more so I pray every day over our students, not just mine, but so they can get to school safe and home from school safe. So I commend them, and congratulations to the board members that got elected. Have a good night.
Thank you. After Ms. Parker is Brian Moloch.
Good evening. My name is Mahasin Parker. Bear with me, I have my baby on the side.
I'm a resident in North Camden. I have 2 children, as you see, one right here, 2 years old, which attends at Mi Casita, and a 20-year-old. She is in Wiley College in Marshall, Texas. She graduated from creative arts, thankfully. I have a high level of concern pertaining to the importance for excellent in the curriculum in Camden schools. I myself have witnessed firsthand how our curriculum does not compare to that found in other cities. For example, my daughter and I in the past lived in Glassboro, and the curriculum there was versus the curriculum in Kansas City was a big difference and the disadvantages overall. As a parent, we believe our children should have the same equal opportunity despite the area a child resides in, period. Our children should have the same opportunities throughout the school and life to better suit them in life for success. I worked in Kansas City school systems for years, and while there, I have observed lack of opportunities that our children had and still have pertaining to the curriculum and opportunities found in our schools. This was and still is very disturbing to watch. These babies are underachieving. They are doing less well than expected because our classrooms are accepting. Excuse me, I'm reading off of a paper and my baby's on the side.
Okay.
I'm just going off of what my heart says.
Okay.
I worked in the Camden school system, and for years our baby's been underachieved, and I myself have personally known all these kids in Camden City schools and community, and I know that they deserve better and they are so intelligent. And because we live in the Camden City, we shouldn't be obligated to having a certain curriculum because we live in the city. And despite like living in the suburban area, when my daughter was in Glassboro, coming to Camden City School, she saw it was a big difference. And she in 6th grade, she came here in the 6th grade, and she was by the time she got here, she was learning stuff that she already learned in 3rd grade. Like it was a big difference. So I just want to I would just want a transformation in the school systems to bring our kids success through curriculum. I'm going to go from there. I'm like so nervous and my kids here because I messed up. I thought I had it all together. But I want to thank y'all for even listening and taking the time out for me.
Thank you. Thank you. Number 10 is Brian, and then Sarah Jocelyn. Number 16, sorry. And then Sarah Jocelyn is number 17.
Good evening, board. My name is Brian Moloch, and my son go to Pilot High. And in school, I was the same problem. And now my son going through the same issues. All children in the IEP don't learn the same way you should be considered when placing a child in the classroom with others. I feel if you have a disability, you should not be hindered, and you should be taught accordingly. My son was kicked out the first year. Nobody knew what's going on. Why he acting out? It was just he was being bad. Come to find out, my son was treated in his IEP. Dart was persistent through the process with his mother to get him in school. I made a phone call to help explain what was going on. He now back in school with others, learned like him, getting help that he need to be successful. And considering we believe the future Camden School should hire more teachers with experience working with children have disability. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Jocelyn?
Sarah Jocelyn, Cherry Hill. I wanted to also thank the security people and the response of the district for providing the trauma-informed care for the students. Very important. I noticed that there's a number of important things that are going on that I wanted to bring up. I see that Davis is going to be participating in the United Nations with Philadelphia, the Model UN. I think that's a tremendous opportunity to get outside the city and be with other schools. I also applaud the Math Hoops, which again provides an alternative way and engages students in the 4th to 8th grade, which is a critical learning age for improving in math. There are other opportunities that I wanted to make sure you are aware of. For example, the New Jersey student rep that meets at the school board has spoken about their winter leadership event that is at TCNJ. It is on January 8th, and students are eligible, high school students are eligible, so I just want to make sure that you're looking into it and seeing if there's some young adults that is an appropriate event for. I realize it's in the middle of the week. It is a day-long event that's in the middle of the week. The point that I wanted to make in my talk today was to inform and remind people about the importance of the Perkins 5 grants. We are going through the 5-year process now. These are for career and technical education. And this is the time to give public comment for the state plan. And of course, that state plan will impact on the ability for Camden City to apply for grant funding to support these career opportunities for our younger people. So we should be very familiar with what the plan is. We should provide input by our parents and our leadership. So it's a timely thing. The opportunity for public comment is coming up in December, but there will be another time when you can dialogue also with the board when it comes up at a proposal stage. So this is the time to make sure that the plan that's being put together is relevant and that there's a good understanding. There will be a Southern Regional comment date that will be in early December. I believe it's on the other side of the state. I'm sorry, I've forgotten the college which is hosting, but I think it's the 4th of December. It's in the beginning, first week in December. They have a north, south, and central area. So I encourage you to take advantage of that. I did also have one comment about correction for your notes. Page 31 and 33, there's a repeat, letter A and letter H.
Thank you, Ms. Jocelyn. Your time's up.
Yes, and I did not understand what the ASP plan was, so it was an abbreviation. It was not familiar to me.
And that concludes public comment.
All right, we want to thank everyone for your public comments and your participation. As always, in today's board meeting, we know that ensuring that our students get a thorough, quality, efficient education is all of our responsibility, and we are here to make sure that we're hearing feedback from the public and also able to be accountable to our board as we move forward our strategic plan of putting students first. So there are a few different topics that came up, and I will address them as they came up. So with regard to community partnerships, parent resources, and safety, there were quite a few questions that came up in those areas. Thank you for offering to partner with our district on providing additional resources for parent support and safety. We recognize the power of key community partnerships as these partnerships help us fulfill our mission of putting students first and making a positive impact on the overall community. I, along with our team, we look forward to reviewing your proposals for parental support at board meetings, and we want to really thank you for the work that you're doing and the specific recommendations that you're coming to the table with, and in many areas, solutions also. So we really appreciate that very much solutions-oriented and collaborative approach. So with regard to safety resources, the district has worked in close partnership with the Camden Police Department for many events, and we will continue to do so. In light of recent events, we will work with the police, and these recent events are not just in our city or what happened Friday in Pleasantville, but when we look at the broader context of what's happening with school violence across the nation, it behooves us to make sure we continue to strengthen an already good partnership. So we will work very closely with the Camden Police Department for many events. We'll continue to do that, and also find engaging ways to bring a bond between the two. In light of recent events, we will work with the police and our district teams to update our emergency response plans as needed. We will also consider creative ways on how to involve our police in our community events. So thank you very much for those recommendations. I'd like to also say a special thank you to our CEA for thinking about additional concerns that are plaguing our students' lives that are outside of school. Thank you for your partnership as we tackle and work together to troubleshoot and problem solve many of these areas that are certainly within our locus of control. So we want to thank you for that partnership, and also just for continuing to work together to highlight and elevate our students. Certification of teachers came up a couple of times, and so the district closely follows New Jersey state certification laws. We confirm that each teacher, before they are hired, is properly certified to come on board in whatever role we are assigning them to. We have a number of teachers who are provisional certificate holders. For these teachers, we case manage them to ensure they are meeting all of the requirements to comply with state certification requirements. If you continue to seek a full list of our certificated staff, please see one of our council team members who can guide you on how to submit an OPRA request. So we want to make sure that you're able to get the information that you're desiring as it is within the law for us to provide. So again, please see one of our staff members so that we can guide you on how to submit for that specific request. But thank you for wanting to know and being concerned about teacher certification and our highly qualified professionals. Transportation concerns. We recognize that with the shortage of bus drivers, student transportation services continue to be impacted across the state and specifically within our region of Camden County. We encourage anyone experiencing transportation concerns to report your child's bus issue directly to your school, as schools are the best resource to voice concerns, and then we can then report to the commission and the bus companies that we work with. We continue to review school start times and efficiency practices to find solutions that will improve service as well as control costs. So again, going to your school, reporting any concerns with busing to either the family operation coordinator or the school leader if you're in a charter or Renaissance school, whatever those specific roles are that are there as well. Please make sure you let them know so that we are able as a district to collect that information and hold our providers accountable. Providing quality schools came up as well. We agree that teachers are one of the best resources for accelerating student achievement. This goes for including dedicated staff for HIB, harassment and intimidation, bullying work, culture and climate, and even attendance officers. We actively monitor student enrollment rates in classrooms in line with state limits. We appreciate the ideas for additional staff and smaller class sizes. But we are without additional funding. Such initiatives are not financially feasible for us at this time. As part of the CUSAC initiatives, curriculum development is a priority. Our school support team are feverishly working to improve the curriculum. So there were many who discussed curriculum and curriculum improvements, and I want you to know that we are definitely working to improve in those areas. Some have already been improved, but we know we have to continue until the whole curriculum is complete and up to date. We work with other districts, including the Camden County Consortium, to collaborate on revising and revamping our curriculum. So we do meet with individuals who are from suburban districts and exchange best practices and ideas in order to make sure that our curriculum continues to improve in ways that are equitable so that our students have the same opportunities that their peers in other areas do. We have work to do, though. We have work to do, and we are doing that work. So we want to thank you for continuing to push in that area, ask those questions, and continue to provide we will continue to provide updates as we are developing our curriculum. Directly addressing Dr. Benson's concerns about the intentions for the newly constructed Camden High School, I cannot stress this point enough. Our students deserve to learn in top-notch facilities. Camden High School will be a traditional public high school. That is what is continually shared with us. No deviation has occurred from the SDA, from the Commissioner of Education, and those who are responsible for ensuring that occurs. So we, again, continue to just repeat that the new Camden High School will be a traditional public high school as has been shared with us by the state. Moving forward, there were some concerns that came, or some thoughts, suggestions, and ideas that came up around parental engagement and academics. So I want to share that all of our schools have academic parent-teacher teams, APTT for short, to do just what a few parents have advocated for tonight. APTT is an opportunity for families to meet with the student's teacher and actively plan for home activities that will support the student in class. If you have not had a chance to attend any APTT sessions, I highly encourage you to reach out to your school's family operations coordinator. If your child has an IEP, you can certainly reach out to your child's child study team in order to make sure that you are up to date on your child's performance and what they need to move them forward in their skill development. Several concerns came up tonight around SPED and IEPs. The evaluation process is part of New Jersey Code, and we are bound to follow these codes. The IEP also outlines who is responsible for the various services in the student's IEP. If you have a concern here tonight, please speak to your child study team at your respective school. The child study team members are the case managers at your schools who can best address your concerns in the quickest way. There will be a parent roundtable coming up in December that specifically addresses special education. So please look out for it on our district website. We have a listing of our parent roundtables. You can also see Ms. Sheree Perry, who can provide you with that exact date. But in our December roundtable, I would invite you to come back, and that's a smaller setting where you can have some more of your concerns addressed. And we're almost there. Building permits came up. The approval process to reserve district facilities is a multi-step process that requires approvals at many different levels. There are several mandatory requirements, including insurance and custodial and security coverage, that are needed before the school can approve an event. We will investigate this permit request that you spoke of regarding Canva and reasons for denial. This process will be communicated so we take advantage of future events. So we want to make sure that that process is not cumbersome, but we want to also be able to make sure we're working in partnership with you. So we will review that situation to see what occurred. And then finally, just want to say again, thank you for everyone for your support as we look forward to tomorrow and being able to have our students from both Camden High School and Pleasantville bring closure to the game that was started Friday. We also want to say again as I shared already, we appreciate your input and your support. Many community organizations that support individuals going through traumatic situations have already collaborated with us, and we're just looking forward to continuing to address the needs of our students, not only based on what occurred Friday, but we know that students experience trauma in multiple ways throughout the school year. So again, we thank you in advance for your support, and we thank you for your partnership as we continue to move our district forward and put students first. At this time, I'd like to turn the meeting over to our board members for any comments that you may have. Not at this time? Okay.
I forgot to acknowledge our board president, Ms. Catherine Blackshear, acknowledging her leadership to have the board meetings to still go on and for us to all to take leadership in it. I just want to acknowledge that her presence is felt here.
All right, thank you very much. If there are no other comments from our board members at this time, I'll turn the meeting over to our board secretary to present the business office agenda items.
At this time, I'd like to present the business office agenda items for approval. They include the bill list and resolutions. Do any of the board members have questions on either of those items?
Okay. All right, thank you very much. So at this time, in accordance with the powers vested in the State District Superintendent under Title 18A, I hereby approve tonight's superintendent's agenda items and business office agenda items.
At this time, I call for a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
I second.
A motion was made to adjourn tonight's meeting by Mr. Nelson, and it was seconded by Mr. Mohammed. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, tonight's meeting is adjourned. Thank you.